The Weekend on 5 USA offers a familiar blend of crime investigations, police drama, mystery, action and classic television, making it an appealing destination for viewers who enjoy stories built around detectives, investigations and memorable characters. From the modern investigative world of NCIS to the unmistakable style of classic detective drama represented by Columbo, the channel's programming can create a weekend viewing experience that moves comfortably between contemporary procedural television and older favorites. 5 USA is particularly associated with crime and investigation programming, so its schedule has long appealed to audiences who enjoy following cases from the first clue through to the final revelation. The attraction of a weekend lineup like this is not simply the individual programs themselves, but the way they can work together as a complete television routine. A viewer can settle in for an episode of NCIS, continue with another police or investigative drama, and later switch to a classic mystery where the pleasure comes from watching an experienced detective slowly uncover the truth. The current 5 television ecosystem also gives viewers several ways to find and catch up on programs, with Channel 5 explaining that its platform includes catch-up episodes, featured programs and box sets from its channels, including 5 USA. For fans planning their weekend, that means the television experience does not necessarily have to end when a scheduled episode finishes, because selected programs can also be available through the wider Channel 5 viewing service. At the heart of the 5 USA experience is the appeal of crime drama, and few modern shows represent that style more successfully than NCIS. The series combines investigations with character relationships, military connections, forensic clues and the everyday personalities of its investigative team. Rather than presenting every case as a simple puzzle, NCIS usually gives viewers several layers to follow at once. There is the central investigation, but there are also personal conversations, team dynamics, humor and moments that allow the characters to become as important as the mystery itself. That combination is one reason the program can fit so naturally into a channel like 5 USA. A weekend viewer can watch an episode without necessarily needing to treat it as a complicated homework assignment, while longtime fans can appreciate recurring characters, relationships and developments that build across the series. The investigative structure also makes NCIS particularly easy to watch in a weekend schedule because each episode normally provides a clear story arc. A case begins, evidence is discovered, suspects are questioned, theories change and the investigators eventually move toward a conclusion. Even when an episode connects to a larger storyline, the procedural format provides a sense of momentum that keeps the viewer involved. For viewers who enjoy the excitement of modern crime television, this can make NCIS an ideal part of a Saturday or Sunday viewing session. Another important feature of NCIS is its balance between serious investigation and lighter character moments. The program can move from a tense case discussion to a humorous exchange between members of the team without completely changing its identity. That mixture gives the show a broad appeal and makes it particularly suitable for viewers who want crime drama without every minute being relentlessly dark. The appeal of a 5 USA weekend, however, becomes even stronger when modern programs are placed alongside classic detective stories. This is where Columbo provides a fascinating contrast. Instead of relying on the same fast-paced procedural rhythm associated with many modern crime series, Columbo is built around the personality and methods of Lieutenant Columbo. The character, famously portrayed by Peter Falk, approaches cases with an apparently casual manner, asking questions, noticing details and gradually connecting pieces of information that other people might overlook. One of the most distinctive features of Columbo is that the audience often knows important information about the crime before Columbo does. This creates a different kind of mystery. The question is not always simply, who did it? Because the viewer may already know the answer. Instead, the suspense comes from watching Columbo work out how to prove what he suspects. That structure gives the program a unique identity and demonstrates why classic detective television can remain entertaining even decades after its original era. Watching Columbo after a modern program such as NCIS can therefore feel like traveling between two different generations of television. NCIS represents a faster, team-based investigative style in which multiple specialists can contribute to a case. Columbo, by contrast, places the detective himself at the center of the investigation. His questions, observations, and persistence drive the story. The contrast is part of the fun of a weekend schedule. A viewer who spends the afternoon with modern investigators can later relax with a classic mystery and appreciate how different television storytelling can be. The appeal of this kind of programming is also connected to nostalgia. Classic detective shows allow viewers to experience an older television style, including different pacing, dialogue, characterization, and storytelling techniques. For some viewers, watching Columbo is not merely watching another crime story. It is revisiting an important period in television history. For newer viewers, meanwhile, the show can feel surprisingly different from contemporary procedural dramas. Its slower rhythm can encourage viewers to pay closer attention to conversations and small details. The detective's seemingly ordinary questions become important because the audience understands that he is observing more than he initially reveals. That is a very different viewing experience from a modern crime drama in which technology, forensic evidence, and rapid communication may dominate an investigation. This difference makes a 5 USA weekend lineup particularly interesting. Rather than offering only one kind of crime program, the channel's identity allows viewers to explore multiple approaches to the same broad genre. Modern investigations can sit alongside classic mysteries, and the result is a television schedule that can appeal to different generations. For a viewer building a weekend television routine, the best approach may be to think about the mood of each part of the day. Earlier in the day, lighter or more familiar episodes can provide easy viewing while people are doing other weekend activities. Later, a more involving NCIS investigation can become the main program of the evening, especially when viewers want something with stronger dramatic momentum. A classic mystery such as Columbo can then provide a change of pace, giving the evening a more traditional detective atmosphere. Of course, the exact broadcast times and episodes can change, so viewers should check the current 5 USA schedule before planning their entire weekend around specific programs. Channel 5's own guidance notes that viewers can search for programs and use catch-up and box set areas, which can be useful when a program is missed or when viewers want to continue watching beyond a scheduled broadcast. The strength of a weekend lineup is therefore not limited to a single timetable. It is also about having a collection of programs that can be watched according to the viewer's interests. For NCIS fans, a weekend can become an opportunity to revisit favorite characters and cases. For classic television fans, it can provide a chance to enjoy detective stories that have influenced the genre. For casual viewers, it can simply be an easy way to find an entertaining crime drama without spending too much time deciding what to watch. The broader popularity of procedural television comes from its reliable storytelling structure. Viewers understand the basic rhythm. Something happens, investigators become involved, evidence begins to appear, theories are developed, complications emerge, and the truth is eventually uncovered. Yet within that familiar structure, individual programs can create very different experiences. NCIS uses an ensemble cast and modern investigative techniques, while Columbo focuses on one detective's personality and intellectual persistence. The comparison shows how much variety exists inside the crime drama genre. A good weekend schedule can take advantage of that variety. Instead of watching several programs that feel almost identical, viewers can move between different styles and eras. 1 hour may involve a team of investigators examining evidence and coordinating a complex case, while the next may involve a single detective quietly asking apparently harmless questions. The change keeps the viewing experience fresh. It also highlights the evolution of television crime drama. Modern shows frequently use advanced technology, rapid editing, multiple locations, and large casts to create momentum. Older detective shows often depended more heavily on dialogue, performance, and carefully constructed plots. Neither approach has to replace the other. In fact, watching them together can make both styles more enjoyable. NCIS becomes a representation of contemporary procedural storytelling, while Columbo demonstrates the enduring power of character-driven mystery. Another reason 5 USA-style programming works well for weekends is the possibility of repeat viewing. Crime dramas are often designed in a way that allows individual episodes to be enjoyable even when viewers do not watch every episode in exact order. This is especially useful for television channels because audiences may join a program at different times. Someone discovering NCIS through a weekend broadcast can enjoy the case in front of them, while an established fan may enjoy recognizing familiar characters and references. Classic programs have a similar advantage. A Columbo episode can be approached as an individual mystery, with the detective's method providing the main source of entertainment. This makes such programs particularly suitable for relaxed weekend viewing, when people may not want to commit to an entire new series. The combination of modern and classic crime drama also creates opportunities for viewers to compare detectives. The NCIS investigators often operate as a team, with different people contributing specialized skills. One character may be strong at interrogation, another at forensic analysis, another at technical investigation, and another at fieldwork. The team succeeds because its members bring different strengths to the same case. Columbo represents almost the opposite model. He is essentially a one-person investigative force whose greatest weapons are patience, observation, and persistence. He does not necessarily need impressive technology or dramatic displays of authority. Instead, he keeps asking questions until contradictions begin to appear. This difference demonstrates that detective stories can create suspense through very different methods. One relies on teamwork and resources. The other relies heavily on personality and deduction. For viewers, that makes a weekend featuring both styles more than simple background entertainment. It can become a small tour through the history of television mystery. The title, From NCIS to Columbo, therefore captures something important about the appeal of the lineup. It suggests a journey from modern crime investigation to classic detective storytelling. NCIS brings a contemporary atmosphere, while Columbo brings a timeless investigative personality. Between them, other crime and police programs can fill out the schedule and provide different tones throughout the day. Some episodes may be more action-oriented, while others may concentrate on investigation and character drama. This variety is valuable because not every viewer wants the same intensity at every moment of the weekend. Saturday afternoon may call for familiar, easy-to-follow episodes, while Saturday night may be better suited to a more absorbing mystery. Sunday can offer another opportunity to catch up, revisit favorites, or discover an episode that was missed earlier. For viewers who like planning their television time, checking the schedule ahead of time can make the experience even better. Because broadcast schedules can change, the safest approach is to use the current program guide and the official Channel 5 viewing options rather than relying on an old timetable. The official platform explains that users can search for programs by name and access recent episodes through catch-up, while box sets can provide complete seasons when available. That flexibility is particularly useful for long-running programs such as NCIS, where there may be many seasons and episodes to explore. It also helps viewers who discover a program halfway through a broadcast run and want to understand more about its characters and stories. The idea of a weekend TV guide is therefore changing. It is no longer simply a printed list of times. A modern television guide can be a combination of live broadcasting, catch-up viewing, and on-demand options. 5 USA's crime-focused identity fits naturally into that environment because viewers can move between scheduled episodes and available library content. The result is a weekend experience that can be customized around personal preferences. A viewer might watch NCIS Live, take a break, return for another crime drama, and later use the catch-up service to watch something missed earlier. Someone else might prefer to spend the entire evening with classic detective programs. Both approaches can work. For fans of NCIS, one of the biggest attractions remains the characters. Crime stories can be enjoyable because of the mystery, but audiences often return because they become attached to the investigators themselves. Their personalities, friendships, disagreements, and professional challenges give the cases emotional context. The same principle explains the longevity of Columbo. People do not watch only because they want to know how the mystery ends. They watch because they enjoy spending time with the detective and observing his unique way of approaching a case. That character connection can make repeat viewing worthwhile even when viewers remember the basic outcome. In modern television, where many shows compete for attention, a strong central character remains one of the most valuable ingredients. A weekend lineup that brings together character-driven programs can therefore feel more satisfying than one based purely on genre. The viewer is not simply watching crimes being solved, they are spending time with familiar fictional personalities. This is especially true when programs have been on television for many years. Long-running shows become part of viewers' routines, and certain episodes or characters can become associated with particular periods of their lives. That sense of familiarity is one reason television marathons can be so appealing. A weekend is often when viewers have more time to relax, and familiar programs can provide an easy form of entertainment without requiring the effort involved in discovering something completely new. At the same time, the presence of classic programs such as Columbo can introduce viewers to stories they may not have encountered before. Younger audiences who primarily watch modern crime series may discover that older detective dramas use very different storytelling techniques. They may notice that suspense does not always require fast editing or elaborate technology. Sometimes a simple conversation can be enough to create tension. Columbo's style demonstrates exactly that. His seemingly informal approach can hide a highly observant mind, and the drama often comes from watching his suspicions become increasingly difficult for the guilty party to escape. This makes the program valuable not only as entertainment but also as an example of television storytelling. The contrast with NCIS is particularly useful because it shows how the genre has evolved while preserving certain fundamental ideas. Both programs ultimately ask viewers to follow an investigation and anticipate the discovery of the truth. The methods are different, but the underlying attraction is similar. Audiences enjoy mysteries because they invite participation. Viewers notice clues, consider suspects, and form theories. Even when a program gives the detective more information than the audience, the process of investigation can create a satisfying sense of discovery. This is one reason crime drama remains such a dependable television genre. It combines story, character, mystery, and resolution in a structure that audiences understand intuitively. A well-designed weekend lineup can use that familiarity to create a comfortable viewing rhythm. Start with modern investigative drama, move through another police or mystery program, then finish with a classic detective story. The viewer gets variety without leaving the broad world of crime television. For a 5 USA audience, that combination can be especially attractive because it reflects the channel's long-standing association with crime and investigation programming. The weekend becomes almost like a mini television festival devoted to detectives, cases, and mysteries. One of the most enjoyable aspects of such a schedule is the opportunity to compare generations of television production. Modern shows can demonstrate the possibilities of contemporary production, while classic programs reveal how much can be achieved through performance and writing alone. NCIS can use team dynamics, technology, and modern investigative procedures to create momentum. Columbo can use a central performance, carefully placed questions, and gradual deduction. Seeing both approaches within the same weekend can make viewers more aware of what they enjoy most. Some may prefer the energy and ensemble relationships of NCIS. Others may prefer the quieter, puzzle-like structure of Columbo. Many viewers will enjoy both precisely because they offer different experiences. This variety is also useful for families or groups of viewers with different tastes, although individual preferences will naturally vary. One person may want modern action, another may prefer classic mystery, and another may simply want something familiar in the background. A mixed schedule can accommodate all three. The weekend lineup can also create a sense of anticipation. When viewers know that their favorite detective programs are coming later in the day, watching television becomes part of the weekend routine. There is something satisfying about finishing the day with a program that feels familiar. For NCIS viewers, that might mean following another case with the team. For classic television fans, it might mean settling in for a Columbo mystery. The exact schedule can vary, but the basic appeal remains the same: television that provides a dependable combination of mystery, character, and entertainment. It is worth remembering that television schedules are not static. Programs can move, episodes can change, and availability on streaming or catch-up services can differ. That is why a guide should be treated as a way of understanding the viewing experience rather than as a permanent timetable. The official Channel 5 service provides search and catch-up features that can help viewers find available programs and episodes. For a weekend viewer, this means there is less pressure to watch everything at precisely the broadcast time. If an episode is missed, it may be possible to locate it through the available catch-up service, depending on rights and availability. That flexibility is particularly valuable for long-running programs because viewers can choose how deeply they want to explore them. Someone might watch only the scheduled episodes, while another viewer could use available box sets to go back and watch earlier seasons. In this way, a simple weekend broadcast can become the starting point for a much larger television journey. The appeal of NCIS and Columbo also demonstrates the strength of recognizable detective characters. In a crowded television environment, a familiar investigator can immediately communicate what kind of experience viewers are going to receive. With NCIS, the expectation is a combination of investigative cases, team relationships, and modern procedural storytelling. With Columbo, viewers know they are entering a mystery shaped around the detective's unusual personality and methodical approach. That clarity makes both programs easy to place within a weekend schedule. They each have a distinct identity, but both belong naturally to the same broad crime and mystery universe. This is perhaps the biggest reason a title such as 5 USA Weekend Lineup, From NCIS to Columbo, Your TV Guide, works so well. It promises not one program but a journey through different kinds of detective entertainment. It tells viewers that the weekend can move from modern investigations to classic mysteries without losing its central theme. For longtime fans, it can be a celebration of familiar television favorites. For newer viewers, it can be an introduction to the range of crime drama available on the channel. And for casual viewers, it offers a straightforward promise: there is plenty of mystery, investigation, and detective storytelling to enjoy. Ultimately, the ideal 5 USA weekend is less about following a rigid timetable and more about finding the programs that match the mood of the moment. NCIS can provide the modern team-based investigation, while Columbo can offer a slower and more character-focused mystery. Other crime and police dramas can sit between them, creating a varied schedule that keeps the genre fresh. The combination of modern and classic television is what makes the concept especially appealing. It allows viewers to see how detective storytelling has changed while also recognizing the elements that have remained constant: an intriguing case, memorable characters, unexpected clues, and the satisfaction of seeing a mystery move toward its solution. Whether viewers are longtime fans of NCIS, devoted followers of classic detective television, or simply looking for something entertaining to watch over the weekend, 5 USA's crime-focused programming offers a natural destination. With live scheduling, catch-up options, and selected box sets available through the wider Channel 5 service, viewers can also have greater flexibility in how they organize their viewing. So, from the modern investigative world of NCIS to the classic detective brilliance of Columbo, the weekend can become a celebration of television's enduring fascination with crime, mystery, and the people determined to uncover the truth. The programs may belong to different eras, use different technologies, and follow different storytelling rhythms, but they share a simple quality that keeps audiences returning: they make viewers want to know what happens next. That is the real strength of a 5 USA weekend. It is not merely a collection of programs placed one after another, it is a journey through different styles of detective television, giving audiences the chance to experience modern drama, classic mystery, familiar characters, and satisfying investigations all within one viewing routine. For anyone planning a weekend around crime television, that combination makes 5 USA a compelling place to start, with NCIS representing the modern procedural tradition and Columbo reminding audiences that sometimes the most powerful detective story is simply one clever investigator asking one more question.